Hi everyone, so I started my business while I was working full-time. So in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my experience, but also give you tips on how you can start your own business while you're working full-time, whether it's a side hustle that you eventually want to go full-time into, or you just want to earn that extra income. So without wasting any time, let's get into the first tip and the first point that I want to discuss with you, and let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful and if you are going to apply these things, or if you have started your own side hustle, because when you're working full-time there can be a bit of friction with your bosses if you want to start something on the side. But let's get into the video. So the first point that I want to discuss with you is for you to understand the contract and the agreement that you signed with your employer when you started the work. So if they have sent it to you via email, you just want to go through it again to understand certain things. So here's things that you need to sort of get familiar with in your contract that might affect whether you can start the side hustle or it's going to clash with your employer. But in most instances, if you are, for example, working corporate and you want to start a side hustle selling amagwinya or selling cakes and stuff on the side, that might not affect your employment contract as such, because the things that you need to look out for in the contract include like non-disclosure agreement and also non-compete clause. So non-disclosure basically means that you're not going to share the company's information with anybody else, or take the company's information and use it in your own company. And the non-compete basically means that you're not going to operate in the same field that the company is operating in, or work directly for their competitor. So that's what it basically means. So look out for things like that, and also look out for terms that tell you that you cannot disclose proprietary information. So you cannot take the company's information, their people's names and all of those things, and go and use them when you start your own business. Things like that can land you in legal troubles, so please have a look at that. If it's something completely different, like I said, you want to start a popcorn side hustle or anything like that, then you are probably completely fine with starting your side hustle. So let's discuss the second point. You need to start building your network. Yes, while you're working full-time, you need to start building your network. So if you have already started the side hustle, you can tell, say maybe for me, for example, I was crocheting. So those are things that I could make for other people, like their babies, or if somebody had a baby, I crochet theirs, and people wanted me to make stuff for them, like their baby's blanket and all of those things. So that was exciting. So it depends on what you are going to be doing. The truth is that in most cases, when you start a business, sometimes it's not that your boss doesn't like you or this person doesn't like you. The truth is that you are bringing up people's insecurities, because most people would like to start their own business, but they're afraid to take the leap. So when you come out and you say, I have this business, this is what I'm doing, it might rub people up the wrong way because of their insecurities and because of their themselves feeling like they're failures. They never tried anything in their lives, they never risked anything, and now here comes this person. Who does she think she is? She thinks she's better, she thinks she's that. They will give you that attitude. If you find people that are happy for you when you start a side hustle, you will be very lucky if you find people that are encouraging in the company, when you start your side thing. So be careful when you're networking, but you can network outside the company. So over weekends, you can go to events. You can find events online on platforms like Quicket, where you see business ladies, business gatherings and stuff like that. You can check if they're there in your area. If you're in Joburg, you check if they are in the city, and you can meet up with them and talk to them. I know places like Mabuning and such places, sometimes they have business people meeting up for open chats and things like that. So those things can be exciting. Another way that you can also mingle and network is for you to network online. You don't have to go meet people in person. So I have seen on LinkedIn there would be events where when you join, you actually see the names and people. Sometimes the host will say to the people, introduce yourself and tell us what you do. So if you see somebody that could potentially be a business partner to you someday, or somebody that could buy something from you, then that's a good opportunity to just reach out to them to say, hey, I saw you in the group and you said this and this and that, can we meet up? Or you can even get their names and then invite them on LinkedIn. But there is so many ways that you can network online and offline. So you need to start networking in your community. When they say there's I know there's Gasi business platforms on LinkedIn that goes around the townships and helps small businesses. When they have an event in your area, then you can visit that event. But you need to get yourself out there, so that when you do start a business, or when you tell people about your business, they have already made the connection with you and they've built that trust with you in order to be interested to do business with you. So it's not something completely new. So let's move on to the next point. The next point is to take advantage of your holidays. So what this means basically is that you are not going to be sick all the time, or most of the time. On Mondays, you're not going to be sick. You're not going to just go on holiday. So what that basically means is that you are going to have to see how many days you have of holidays and make good use of them. Because when you run a business, there will be time that the business needs you even during the week. Even if you do it after hours or you do it during your lunch time, the business is going to need you more at some point. So you need to plan for that. So I talked a little bit about lunch hours as well. So during lunch, while you're eating, you might have to be a little bit lonely and just do your own thing. So you're going to have to be very time conscious and measure your time really well and be strict with your time to say, from this time I do this to that time I do that. That's the only way that you're going to be able to run your business properly. Sorry about that. But yes, let's get to the next point. So in the next point, you either start a business in what you already do, or you test out an idea to see if it's going to work before you actually leave the company. So you can start a business if you see that the business is growing and you're getting more orders for it. Say, for example, you started your own baking company, your own baking business. You can on the side start doing that. Once you start getting the orders and you can see, wow, I'm getting swamped with orders, then you can leave your job. But otherwise, you can become a consultant in what you have been doing. But like I said, make sure that you know whether your company is very strict with that, because I know people that have left to become consultants in that area. So they didn't take the company's list of people and all of that, but they left to become consultants. Say maybe you were a sales manager, or say maybe you are in human resources, or say maybe you are an accountant, or you are a marketer. You can actually leave to become independent and work for yourself. You just have to think about things like medical aid and all the benefits that you're getting from the company. Think about the fact that you are going to be paying for those things now. That's just something to take into consideration. It's not something to turn you off of starting your own business, but that's just something to think about. So if you already have the skills, why not put them to good use? And if you apply them 10 times more, you know you're going to get 10 times more results. They might not be immediate results, but they're definitely going to be bigger results than if you are limited with the amount of salary, whether you work 10 times hard or 5 times harder, or the normal hours. So that's something to think about. The next point is to think about your exit or financial plan before you leave the company. So start saving as soon as you can. I always tell people, if you want to start something, always think of how long am I going to be here, how long am I gonna need to do this. So it's not to say that you don't love your job, you get there and you're already looking for a way out, because we do appreciate the experience that jobs give us, but not everyone wants to work for somebody else, and not everyone is good at working for somebody else. So if you want to go your way, start thinking about planning. Start seeing how much your living expenses are per month. How much does your car cost? How much does medical aid cost? If you have children, how much are the creche costing, the food? So you have to have a budget and see how much per month you're going to need, and start saving up for at least 6 to 8 months of living expenses without any income. Because even though you might start getting an income right away from your business, like if you're a baker or things like that, they might not be able to cover all your expenses, because remember, what you get in the first few months of a business, you're going to return back into the business in order to grow the business, in order to hire other people and grow and just become amazing. So you want to plan ahead. Another way you can plan ahead is while you're working, you find out how much your retirement is going to be. If you want to use your retirement, if you have a partner and they feel that they don't have to use their retirement, you can use your retirement, then it's something to consider to see how much the retirement is worth. That's what I did. I took out my retirement and I decided to go my own way. Lord knows when I retire, I'm gonna retire a millionaire. I'm telling you today, if not a billionaire. Okay. Now, plan. Let's move on to the last point. And the last point is related to the previous one, where I tell you need to become a survivalist. Okay, that means that you need to start cutting back on your expenses. When I started my business, or when I decided to go my way and figure out this entrepreneurship life, I decided to sell my car that I was paying about 4,000 rand a month. I decided that it was too much for me to pay, so sold it, and I'm driving my test and I'm not paying anything per month. So you're going to have to cut back. It's not nice, but you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to cut back on perhaps sometimes where you live. Maybe you're living at an extravagant place, or you were living in a 3-bedroom place, but it's only you and your partner and all of those things. So you're going to try to figure out ways to minimize your expenses, and also make use of like free Wi-Fi's over the weekends. Go to conferences, eat the food for free if you didn't have to pay too much money for the conferences. But you're going to have to be a survivalist while you're working hard. I want to drop the myth that you are going to just have it easy and start bowling and all of those things. If that happens, then you're one in a million, if not 1 in a billion, that things happen like that. But yes, entrepreneurship is exciting. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely for a lot more people, because entrepreneurship is not a fancy guy sitting in an office. Entrepreneurship is somebody's passion and them saying, I have a solution for you. If you're going through this, I have a solution to make you happy. I have a solution to make you feel better. I have a solution to make your life better, or your kids, or your family. People are always looking for solutions. So if you have the solution, then you're an entrepreneur and you can start your own business. Now with that, I am out of here, and I wish you a very, very lovely day or evening or whatever, wherever. Bye guys, see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe, please. Ciao.